Hel- Hello, good morning, and welcome to this Dawn Buster Taste Challenge. I have two gold tequilas. This is Winn-Dixie imported premium tequila. It says silver on the label, but it's actually gold. They put the wrong label. There's two labels, obviously, silver and gold. That's kind of funny. Hello, Alex. Uh, Bought this at Winn-Dixie in Metairie, Louisiana. It was $17.99. It's now selling $19.99 on discount. The regular price they're showing $19.99. Anyway, it may have been on the market for 50 years or more because I can remember these Winn-Dixie brand liquors when I was a little kid on that get-togethers or whatever. I didn't pay any mind to it. We have a parade party at our house every year because one of the carnival parades passed in front of the house, and my father would buy this stuff because it was cheap. All right. Burley Sullivan says, you. Cheers back to you. Alex says, cheers. Cheers to y'all. All right. Now, here is the competitor, and it's going to whip it. This is Tradicional Tequila Reposado Rested Tequila from Jose Cuervo. It's 100% agave. This was introduced in 1977 by Jose Cuervo as a line extension. They wanted to come out with a pure tequila, not a mixto. And yeah, I see it around. It doesn't seem like a lot of people know about it or follow it. Or when I was looking at video reviews, I didn't find many, honestly. Then a year later, they came out with the 1800 tequila brand, and that's really popular. And that's 100% agave tequila. Got a lot bigger sales. It seems, you hear what I'm saying? I hadn't studied it. Neoprene cap stopper. All right, so plastic cap with neoprene. That's that rubberized, that synthetic rubber that they use on the bottom of tennis shoes, shoe soles. It's made by DuPont. It's spongy, and a lot of companies use it for their corks. It doesn't. Apparently, I'm not a scientist. Apparently, it doesn't deteriorate as fast, or dry rot as fast as cork. So anyway, they're both pale, and the añejo from Cuervo is even paler. So you got gold straw and just almost clear yellow, almost colorless clear yellow straw. So neither one are colored. Neither one of these is colored or flavored. They don't have coloring or flavor. Dawn Busters, right? That's who we're gonna call. I just watched your review on Jose Cuervo, says Alex. Oh, which one? I did the silver especial, the gold especial, the tradicional reposado, and then tradicional plata silver. So I'll do a screen share. A mixto means they're adding filler, and they can add up to 49% filler liquor. They don't have to add up to 49%. I said they're allowed to add up to that. But it's still legally a tequila, and mixed common tequila from Mexico. What they do is they send it across the border in bulk. In this case, to Frankfort, Kentucky, Buffalo Trace Distillery, where it's imported and bottled by Wide World Importers which is part of Sazerac, for Winn-Dixie stores. And in fact, if you look up, well, it's a Sazerac product. It doesn't have the word Sazerac anywhere on the label, but if you get their scotch, also Wide World Importers, it says Sazerac.com. So we know it's Sazerac. All right, nice label, pen and ink drawing, colorful. They missled this one. So it says you got to buy it in the store. You can't get it curbside or delivered. Okay, which is not difficult to go in the store. So there you go. Not much to show, and they don't say anything about it except you have to have an ID to buy it. Here's the Tradicional from Cuervo. Aged 100% blue, herbaceous essence and cooked agave flavor with stewed tropical fruits. It's rested in charred oak. So you're taking charred oak, not just regular. You don't have to use charred oak for tequila. No, you just use, it has to be oak barrels. All right. But in this case, they're using charred oak, which is strange because it's even lighter than the Winn-Dixie. and it's very tequilero in character. Tequilero. That's the type of agave they use. Blue Weber agave, also known as agave tequilero, tequila agave. Um, it is light straw in color. Hey, I didn't even read that carefully, and I got it right. I said it looked like light straw, and that's what they're calling it. Good. And has an herbaceous essence of agave. Its flavor is of cooked agave, makes sense, and stewed tropical fruits. Well, we'll see about that. Backed by lingering notes of vanilla, clove, cinnamon, and toffee. I never pick up all that stuff that they say. Family estate, small batch tequila. It's more expensive than the regular Jose Cuervo, but honestly, you would think it'd be a lot more expensive, but it's just a little expensive. So my answer is you may as well pay a little bit more, a lot more. I think you should pay a little bit more and get a lot more. Warm and spicy finish. So what else can we say? You can find it commonly. They sell it at Mathern's. They sell it at Walmart. And that's I think Winn-Dixie probably has it. I didn't check, but it doesn't matter. But it's around. It's pretty. Yes, I was reading in mine. So many people say they hate Jose Cuervo. I believe it's because of how popular it is. Well, anything that gets real popular is going to have the haters. You know what I mean? And I think it's because Cuervo is just a common Mixto tequila. It's got that filler. They claim it's made with Blue Weber agave. They didn't say 100%. But it's a whipping boy. It's like Budweiser beer. People make a career out of hating on Budweiser, and they'll talk about how it's it's worse than, and then they name all these terrible things. I'd rather drink blank 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 than Budweiser. And as well as I do, it's really just kind of bland. All these flagship products are Jack Daniels, #1 Tennessee whiskey. It's a little bland. Jim Beam, #1 bourbon. It's a little bland. Johnny Walker Red Label. I don't really think Johnny Walker Red Label is bland, but some people claim it's terrible. I don't know what's terrible about it. And Cuervo, same thing. You see. So, but if they were honest, they would not say it's horrible. They just say it's kind of dull. You personally love Jose Cuervo Blue Agave. You talking about this traditional? Completely agree, says Alex. Oh, thank you. Now, another big whipping boy is Crown Royal. That people talk about that one, I think, worse than any of them. Oh, that stuff's so bad. It's not so bad. A little bit ho hum, but see, you can't make a flagship product too bold because people they're not gonna want it. Oh, it's too strong. They'll say it's too strong. And Jameson, same thing, #1 Irish whiskey, kind of on the blah side, but each one of those brands that I just named, they make more specialty products, more exotic or gourmet products with bolder flavors, more pure production and everything. For the ones that want to get deeper into it. Now, most Crown Royal people I know a guy at work, he drinks Crown Royal. That's what he drinks. I see him buying Crown Royal. Not all the time, but regularly. Oh, and he's been drinking this stuff. He's probably 10 years older than me. So he's been drinking this stuff since the 80s or longer. And I said, hey, Glenn, you ever tried Crown Royal Black? What's that? He tells me, what's that? Not even aware that they make all the variants. I said, well, it's more of a specialty Crown Royal. You ever tried the Crown Royal Reserve, Special Reserve? No. He's never tried any of the variants. See what I'm saying? Whether he would like them, I don't know. He might hate them. Did you drink a Blue Moon this morning? Why would you ask that question? Okay, Crown Royal Apple is great. I've never tried Crown Royal Apple, but I've tried Rich and Rare Apple, a substitute brand, much cheaper brand. But it tastes pretty good to me. I've been enjoying that Rich and Rare Apple, and I got it for $7.99. Now, is it better than Crown Royal Apple or as good? I cannot comment on that. I do not know. I would assume it's not as good, but that's simply an assumption. Okay, this smells like agave nectar and water. I'm serious. Agave nectar and water. Like to add a tap water to bring it down to 40% alcohol. They cannot ship 100% agave tequila across the border in bulk. It has to be bottled in Mexico. Well, let's say prepared in Mexico. Because they're saying here, now they're saying that it's imported and bottled by Proximo Spirits under license in New Jersey. Maybe I read that wrong because maybe they are bottling it in Mexico and then shipping it to New Jersey. But it seemed like it's reading that they bottle it in New Jersey. But that doesn't make sense because I just said you can't ship 100% agave bulk tequila across the border. So let me update that because I'm thinking that's not sensible. Produced by Jose Cuervo. And I'm just going to put Proximo Spirits in parentheses because Proximo Spirits, I was watching a video a while back and the two guys they were doing a duo review. They said, it's not the same since they got bought out. They were not bought out by Proximo Spirits. Proximo Spirits is Jose Cuervo. Okay. It's an umbrella company that they created. Jose Cuervo has always been independent. Was a different family that bought it. No, not a different family that bought it. It kept getting inherited, and then it was a different last name because like the guy had only daughters, and she married a guy named Beckman. I think his name Beckman, and then that name, just like in Jim Beam, the No family took over, but the No family is the Jim Beam family, but from the daughter's side, daughter's inheritance. But Proximo Spirits is what they created as an umbrella company for all the other liquors they own. And if you get on their website, they own a lot of liquors that have nothing to do with tequila. Oh, some do, many don't. Okay, right. I don't drink. I taste. I taste tequila at dawn. I'm glad you love the videos and the live streams. All right. Well, cheers, everybody. Here we go. Oh, the aroma over here. Oh, thank you. This has less aroma. This has virtually no aroma. So this must be the Winn-Dixie because it's got nothing going for it. Is it a bad smell? No. It's a lack of aroma. There is a lack of aroma. But let's taste because I'm not sure at this point. I will be sure after I taste it. Blue agave. You get that same flavor, that succulent agave flavor, which tastes like itself. You know what I'm saying? Like you say, well, what does it taste like? I think agave is one of those flavors that it's not comparable to anything else. So unless you try it, I can't explain it. You know what I'm saying? It's like watermelon. If you never if you've never tried a watermelon, I can't say, well, it's kind of like a lemon. No, it's a unique flavor and you have to try it. Okay. This is good, but it's less agave. Maybe it's got that sugarcane vodka. I'm saying sugarcane vodka. Do I know they're using sugarcane vodka as the filler? No, I don't. I have no way to prove that, but it tastes like it. I have a bottle of sugarcane vodka. Pretty good stuff. And I got it so cheap, $7.99 for a handle. Big bottle like that. Don't ask me why. International market puts some incredible sales on the shelves sometimes. Not all the time, but pretty often. I mean, where else are you going to find Southern Comfort fiery pepper aged, Southern Comfort aged in Tabasco barrels for $1.99? The answer, you're not going to find it anywhere else. I'm talking about a regular size bottle, not a sampler. Not a sampler. Have I watched Tommy Carroll? Good morning to you, Tommy. Have I watched any of the DNC? Only on the news coverage. I don't usually watch conventions because they're all scripted and they're all staged and boring. The outcome's already determined, so it's just like a showcase. I didn't watch the Republican one. Steve-O, I can't stomach Mixtos anymore, especially when you can get 100% agave just as cheap as these days, really. Yeah, like I said, I bought the Tradicional and it was the same price as the regular Jose Cuervo. Now, it was different. Like, I think the silver was about $3 more, but then this gold, this Reposado, was the same price. Nah, that was a mistake at Walmart, maybe, because now it's running close to $30 and the regular Jose Cuervo like 25. But even so, 25 to $30, a $5 difference, you're getting a $5 better product. Believe me, you're getting a $5 better product. So if you're going to buy Cuervo, you may as well buy the Tradicional, and you can get it in handles at certain stores. Depends on the store. I had never seen it in handles except on Total Wine's website. But that's the way to go. And I have a duo review coming up eventually for that this one with my friend David. We did the silver, the Plata, and he loved it. He was just amazed because he said it. He said he was amazed because he always had a bad opinion about Cuervo. He always said bad things about it. He didn't like it, thought it was junk, and he wouldn't even hesitate to say it. And I used to say, "Oh, you're crazy. That's not junk. It's ordinary." You know, we would argue about it. I said, "Well, you ought to try the Tradicional." He didn't know what that was. I said, "You know, the 100% Cuervo." No, he didn't know about that. So I showed him the two bottles, and he was like, "Where did you find that?" Like it was some kind of secret thing. I said, "It was right there at Walmart." Well, he was keen to try it then. So we tried the silver. Well, he just couldn't get over it. And then we tried the regular Cuervo, the regular Especial. Oh, he didn't like it. So then we did the same thing on last week. Last week we tried this one here, and he was like, "Oh man, it's so good." He was going on and on, and I was showing the regular bottle, the regular Jose Cuervo Gold. Cuervo Gold. And he was like, "Well, since we're here, we may as well try it, excuse to try more liquor." And he was like, "Yeah, see, it's not the same. It's so obviously better." He was saying, so obviously better. Cheers to everybody. But this is tough. I'm talking, you say you're trying to stall. I'm not trying to stall. Because actually I want to go walking. I got stuff to do. Rich in sugar. I mean, very sugary. I've said this so many times that to me, a lot of liquor, and maybe most liquor, to me, I can only speak for myself, tastes very sugary. You might disagree. Okay, fine. But I find a lot of liquor, I don't care what type it is, but yeah, rum, obviously, but others, they taste like sugar water to me. That's why when I put them in my coffee, like the rich and rare apple, obviously they're adding sugar to it, so it's going to sweeten the coffee. But I just think regular liquor would sweeten the coffee. I don't know. I just feel like that it would. I never added it to coffee, but so let's go over here. This is the Tradicional 100% agave. I think it's weird because the aroma wasn't really evidencing that. Hey, but you know what? Notice this. I'm having trouble with it. It's not as clear cut as I had first believed. Now, you know what's strange about that? Yesterday evening, I did a little tasting because I didn't pour that much. And the Tradicional was so far ahead of this this Winn-Dixie tequila. It was like, I know the answer, it wasn't even a challenge. But today I'm having a challenge and I can't understand it. You say, "Oh, you ate something strange." No, I didn't eat anything strange. And I didn't drink anything strange because coffee is not strange. That's, a normal thing people drink in the morning. So that didn't alter my taste bud. Sugar water, no. But it's got more of a bold burn. You know what it's got? That wood. I think the charred oak is coming through. Funny though, now this might be aged, minimally. Believe me, it's minimal, but it's aged, but you say, "Oh, they're using the cheapest añejo or reposados they can find." That's probably why it's $18.99. I think you're right. But you know, yeah, now how some things will punch above their weight, as an expression goes. You know, how they'll be way better than they should be. Like for 18.99, this should be really bad. And if you want to try a bad one, get the Scotch because it's really bad. Get their Scotch; it's an atrocity. Not to the level of Camo beer, but it's dreadful. But this one, it should be bad for the price. You should say, "Oh no, that's I can't let that in my house. That's a disaster, a tragedy." But it isn't. That's the funny thing. Like I know so many people that'll judge products by their cover. You know, they say don't judge a book by its cover, but they'll judge food products by their cover. I saw somebody yesterday looking for chili with beans, which I like too because I think the beans add to. But the Hormel wasn't on sale, but the Food Club was. So I was like, well, and then I looked at the bottom of the can later on, and they're from the same establishment code, which means that the Hormel chili and the Food Club chili are coming from the same place, which is obviously a Hormel meat production facility. I didn't look up the code. You can look up, there's a database from the U.S. Department of Agriculture. It'll show every establishment code. So you can track where your canned meat comes from. It'll tell you. I said, it's the same place. And it's the same thing with Food Club, you know, the canned tamales and the Food Club. Food Club and Hormel canned tamales. You look at the bottom of the can, same production facility. Are they taking the same tamales and just relabeling them? I get a strong suspicion that they are, as evidenced by the fact that they taste identical. I'm just telling you. Now, she was like, I don't know. This lady, I'm standing next to her in the grocery store. She's like, I don't know. I said, but it's like half the price on sale. I said, the worst that could happen is you don't like it. She laughed. She said, that's true. She had to laugh at herself because she realized that her whole premise was foolish. It was like, big deal. You're buying a can of chili and okay, so it's not that good, so you don't buy it again, you know. I said, but what if it is good? Then what you're going to say? Oh, it's a private label. It's a store brand. But people seem to have this idea that grocery stores or Walmart has their own factories. Now, Kroger does. Now, that's true. Kroger is a huge company trying to buy Albertsons. They have their own factories and for many products. I didn't realize that. I was researching it. So that's really, they got like vertical integration from the production up to the retail, which is rare. Most grocery stores, including Walmart, do not make their own products. They contract out. And they're not contracting out to some mom and pop production place because they don't have the ability to have that capacity. They're contracting out to, you know, the big companies. If it's Great Value coffee, you know, it's going to come from Folgers or Maxwell House, somebody, Kraft, Heinz. It's obvious. And I always tell people, I said, you ever notice that Walmart medium roast, the Great Value medium roast coffee tastes identical to Folgers medium roast? Oh, they tell me, you're crazy. You're crazy. I said, no. I said, no, maybe you're crazy because you're paying way more and you do a blind taste test and you tell me if you can tell them apart. I don't believe you can. And I don't believe if she would have honestly, and she bought both. She said, I'm going to buy the Hormel and the Food Club, and she's going to mix them. She was going to mix the two. Well, that defeats the purpose. There's no point to that. But if you did an honest taste test, I don't think you would tell those two apart, especially if they're from the same factory. I mean, come on. All right, let's look at the comments, and I'm going to call this. This is a tough one. I thought it was going to be a snap. Louisiana Liquor Reviews. When is your company going to get off their heads and do something about your hospital bill? Oh, yeah, right. I got a bill yesterday from the hospital, and they had the red alert, red stripe alert, late. What does it say? Past due. Been 2 months. I'm going to tell those people today, hey, you know, what's up with this? They're going to turn me over to a collection agency. That's going to kill my credit rating. Not that I need it, but it's, you know, my credit rating is like 825. The highest you can get is 850. Can't go higher than that. It's like pristine. Well, I mean, let's just say theoretically I needed to borrow money. I could get the best rate right now. I get the prime rate, the prime rate. But what's going on with this? So I'm gonna tell them they need to call the workman's comp, tell them to pay the thing. Or I'll pay it and you pay me back. But you know how that's gonna work. If I pay the hospital, it'll be 20 years before I get my money back. So I'm very reluctant to do that. That's a joke. Cheap, plain packaging usually means they are spending more towards quality and less towards marketing. Well, they're definitely not spending anything toward marketing because there is no marketing. Pacifico six-pack. Yep. Melinda Gates. Oh, where? See, I got big timers watching. Pacifico's coming Wednesday. Did you say you're examining Pacifico Clara recently, says Wesley, this Friday? No, Wednesday. We always do examinations on Wednesday. We're doing Pacifico Clara this Wednesday. I got my can. I bought a 12-pack. I got one can left. I drank 10. I gave one can to my friend David. Now I think he's kidding around. He said, I drank it. You said it was for drinking. I said, yeah, on the examination. I think he's just joking, giving me a hard time. But if he drank it, that's on him. He can go buy a 12-pack, which is actually cheaper per beer. I'm not going to worry about it. I give you a free can and you drank it for the examination. That's on you. But I think he just was kidding. I'd still probably choose Corona Extra over it, but it's a standard Mexican beer. I like the Pacifico because it has a very Pilsner flavor. And they claim on the website it's a Pilsner style beer. And I believe it. I believe it's Pilsner style. All right. So, yeah. There's a lot to be said for private label brands, even though people are very judgmental and will not try. I run into so many people every day will not try a private label. Now, are some of those nasty? Yeah, look at the beers. Walmart tried selling a private label beer. It was horrible. That was a catastrophic failure. What was it called? I don't know. I got cans of it. I saved the cans. Rockdale Light. That's right. Rockdale Light, Rockdale Premium, and Rockdale Ice. Well, definitely wasn't premium. That must have been reject Genesee beer. I knew it came from, it said on the can, came from Rochester, New York. It was probably any Genesee that would never make the cut. They were like, oh, can't bottle this. Oh, yeah. And in Walmart, they didn't keep it. I guess customers were complaining, this stuff's trash. And I guess Walmart eventually agreed and said, yeah, you're right, it is trash. And they stopped selling it. It was junk. Now, Trader Joe's private labels, they're good. Those are good. Name tag was kind of iffy, but name tag's gone. Same problem, probably. Trader Joe's put out an undrinkable beer called No Name. I never heard of No Name, but I had Name Tag. I thought Name Tag was all right. Simpler Times, Pilsner, and Lager, those were good. I don't know why they don't make the Pilsner anymore. This is like a mystery. Nobody could figure it out because everybody preferred the Pilsner. The Lager's a malt liquor. It's good. It was really good when it was $4.99 a 12-pack. Then it was $6.99 a 12-pack forever. That's still a great deal. $6.99 a 12-pack. That's $13.98 a suitcase. But what about their IPAs? What's that called? Twin Screw, it's a Bosun, Boatswain, Bosun. Good stuff. It's strange. Tastes a little weird. Bosun IPA, American IPA, and double IPA, 8.2%. But it's good. Everything does not have to taste the same. And we talk about this. People think everything got to taste the same. It doesn't taste like a normal IPA. It tastes different. My attitude was so. Okay, it tastes different. It's unique. Have I ever tasted anything else that tastes like Bosun IPA? No, I haven't. And they had it for $4.99 a six-pack until recently. $5.99 a six-pack is still a deal of the century for IPA, 8.2 double. Yeah, I just don't get it. All right, anyway, this one's tough, but I'm gonna say this was the Cuervo, but before I even call it, let's say it honestly, this thing is not dominating, and it's extremely more expensive. You're going to pay way more for this per ounce than that. That's just a fact. There's no getting around that. But it's got me confused. But it is the Cuervo, and that because of that pepperiness, you know. So would I pay a lot more for the? I don't know. Now after this tasting, I don't know, man. But now that's why you do the blind taste test. That's the whole point of it, so that you can't be biased because you don't know which is which. Now we're going into mezcal, and I have a very interesting mezcal coming up. It's made with tequila agave. Now I don't know why you would make a mezcal with tequila agave. You say, well, tequila is a type of mezcal. That's true. It seemed like you'd want to differentiate it, but for whatever reason, this company, Cuervo Sabe, wanted to make a mezcal for Total Wine and make it taste like tequila. I don't get it, but anyway, it's an interesting product. Doesn't taste bad. Actually tastes pretty good. All right, it's just strange. You know, my friend David was flipping out over it, like so hostile to it. I was like, but you never even tried it. He didn't want to try it. He's like, I don't want to try it. Mezcal tastes like tequila. This is wrong. You know, it's wrong. Well, so get ready for mezcal, and then following that, we're going to go into we're going to go all the way around back to the start with rye whiskey. Oh man, aren't you ready for rye whiskey? I know I am. And I have a very unusual product, and I found it, and I think you will never find it. When I show you this rye whiskey, I'm saying you'll never find it. And I got it for $9.99. Or was it $9 even? It was something like that. It was either $9.99 or $9. It looked wretched. The label was all peeling off. It was so dirty. I came home and I cleaned it with warm water and soap, made it look nice. I had to tape the label back with transparent tape. It was so deteriorated. I know this bottle must be 25 years old. But I was asking a guy at the liquor store in Belle Chase, Louisiana. I said, well, it was just like one or two bottles stuck by themselves with no tag or anything. I said, well, what is this selling for? He's looking at me like he's trying to think of something to say. He said, how about $9, my friend? Or he said $9.99. I can't remember. I said, $9? I'll buy it. I told him I'll buy it. He said, yeah, it's a new year. This was in January. It's a new year. It doesn't matter. And I'm thinking, yeah, you had the bottle on the shelf for 25 years and nobody bought it. I guess it doesn't matter. You should sell it. All right, yeah, it should be fun. I can't wait. Really, I'm so excited. It'll be later in September, but we'll get into that. Rye whiskey. I love rye whiskey. It's so good. All right, we all take care. Bye-bye.